My mom crushed it. My mom stepped up a lot. She bought me condoms. She thought that was the move. Was it awkward? Yeah, for sure. Was I 9? Yeah, almost. Were they magnums? Yeah, but she believed in me, and that's something I'll never. Thank you. I love her too. I think she's a great lady, and she thought I could get halfway in there.
Adam Ray is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Adam's dates all over the place. You go to AdamRayComedy.com. Dr. Phil's coming to town near you, and we've got new shows coming out as well. All right, Mayhem, you got some news?
Yeah, I do. I got some news. New Orleans jail employee accused of helping 10 violent inmates escape said one threatened to shank him. Yeah, here's some footage of the guy's escape, and apparently Sterling Williams, 33, admitted to cutting off the water in cells to the Orleans Parish Justice Center so inmates could pull the toilet from the wall and escape.
Yeah. All right. So when I'm hiring for the new jail, part of the interview process is, do you have an issue with potentially being shanked?
Yeah.
Because if the answer is yes, turn around, the door's right there.
Go to Target.
I need people who are okay with the possibility and notion of being shanked. Otherwise, you can't work in the shank capital of the world, which is this prison.
Yeah, you have to know that if you work in this jail, you could be murdered.
Yes. So
Sorry.
they pulled the toilet.
Were fireworks supposed to go off when you said that?
They pulled the toilet, and the guy shut the water so that it could pull the toilet off the wall.
Yeah, exactly right. And then all ththese guys are still missing in action.
How many?
10.
Wow.
Yeah, 10 total. Some of them.
Oh, they're not all missing, though.
Oh, okay.
I think one guy they
update
found
since this
sleeping
story.
on a bench.
Do you think they make some of these prisons like so that you can break out? Like, because I mean, I don't know. Does it get stagnant for the security to where they're like, dude, I love a good, because you know, like a bouncer at like a club. Any bouncer I've ever talked to, I was like, you ever get in fights? They go, oh yeah.
You got to.
They love it, dude.
Yeah,
So is there ever a time where it gets so monotonous and stale where they're like, dude, I fucking just would love a break in right now, dude. I love or a breakout to where I could step in and throw down some hammer.
Yeah.
I miss tunneling out of prisons.
Me too.
It was a big part of my childhood.
Yeah.
Of, like, this guy's going to tunnel out.
Well, just so you guys know that they did tunnel out. Technically, behind the toilets is a service tunnel. So
I see.
They got through there.
Yikes.
They got up out of there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is usually how anytime they break out of jail, this is how it goes through the toilet, through the back service.
They
tunnels.
always get caught, though, because first off, they already got caught. That's why they're breaking out. And a lot of them are just wearing orange onesies, which is tough. Also miss the part. It's got to be tough breaking out of prison in modern times, because in old times they always had the scene where the guys were wearing their jailbird outfits, but they came across the clothesline that had the button-up shirts and the jeans on it, and the next thing they were wearing that. There's no more clothes.
Windowsill.
Very Looney Tunes.
There's no clothesline action anymore. I think Chris Carolla was the last woman in modern society to use a clothesline. We had a clothesline.
I think the same way that like Dawson's not allowed within 15 feet of schools, I think most prisons aren't allowed within like 15 feet of clotheslines.
Yeah, it's 150 yards, but I get what you're saying. 15 feet. That's stress.
I kid. They invite him to most schools. It's actually the opposite, to speak.
That's right. Scared straight.
Yeah. Scared straight. I would love to see Dawson do a scared straight. Holy shit. Wait, Dawson, real quick. I'm the kid. Ready? You ain't shit, mister. I'll fuck you up. Suck my dick.
You're going to be someone's bitch in about 45 seconds.
Huh?
Yeah. Perfect.
End scene. You got the job.
All right, man jumped by coyote, saves himself by strangling it for 10 minutes. It was either him or me.
I encounter coyotes, and they're a weird combination of scared and timid and weird and aggressive. Like they're kind of both. Like normally, rabbits are easy. They just run. They always run.
Right.
And then grizzly bears always charge.
Right.
Coyotes are like, sometimes they stalk and sometimes they run, and it's unclear which one you're getting.
It's a little guy at the bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's rangy.
We don't know.
Get after it.
This guy choked out a coyote?
Yeah, funny. He was having a smoke outside his home in Roxborough and suddenly felt like something was watching him. Felt like something was hunting him. And then Suddenly, a coyote emerged from the woods and charged at him. He jumped at him. He caught him in the air, and he was biting him, so he threw him down, and he had to rip his left hand out of the coyote's mouth. Oh, yeah. And then
choke him.
two hands. And I argue that 10 minutes is excessive.
Oh, he choked him for 10 minutes.
10 minutes. 2 minutes will do the trick, kids, if you're watching at home. But
if you're looking
10 minutes is too much.
I mean, who knows, though? How many coyotes have you killed?
That's a good point.
I'm basing off men.
Yeah, for sure. But who knows? Maybe the coyote took it. Maybe he I don't know. Also, I didn't know coyotes attacked people. I thought they were just like animals only, like cats and dogs.
I think when they're desperate enough and hungry, they'll go for it.
There's weird outlier coyotes who like follow you at a distance. I've had those. Fall at the distance coyote. There's one in my new neighborhood that just makes noise up on the lawn, and it's always unclear when you're walking toward them whether they leave or you leave. They have a weird relationship with power, and they do this thing all the time where they go, "Oh, they're eating the dogs." They eat meat. And they live in the nature, and if you got a little dog, they want to eat it. This guy seems unlikely as a coyote. He's got dreads. He looks like he's Rastafarian. He looks like he plays a steel drum in a band,
he's good with
Jamaican
his
band. But he's not the guy I pictured killing the coyote with his hands.
Also, where does the coyote? It's one of those creatures too that I go, why did we make that one? Like, what is it? Who is it serving? Who is it? Where are they adding value? I don't know.
They're snagging jackrabbits off the plains usually.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah, but
I didn't know we had a jackrabbit problem.
Trash cans. They figured out trash cans, and it's been game over ever since.
I had rabbits when my roommate had rabbits in my first apartment in North Hollywood, and rabbits, we just keep feeding them. They just keep getting fatter and fatter and fatter. They don't stop growing. They just keep eating. These are a whole head of cabbage into the cage. It's gone in 5 minutes. They just eat the whole thing. And then at some point, he said, I came home and I was like, "Where are the rabbits?" He's like, "I set them free." I was like, "You took morbidly obese, declawed rabbits and you set them free?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Where?" He goes, "In Laurel Canyon Hills." I go, "There's nothing but coyotes up there." He goes, "I set them free." I go, these rabbits can barely move. They've never met anything in the wild. They get hand fed. What do you mean? You sent them to their death. He's like, "I set them free." I go, the only way these rabbits are making it through night one is if the coyotes are suspicious and think it's a trick. Right. Like those are exploding rabbits or poison rabbits. They'll get through night one because morbidly obese rabbits being dropped off on their doorstep is going to make them suspicious. But they're not making it 2 days in the wild. Like, just so you know, you sent those rabbits to their death. That's all I want you to know.
Wiley won the lottery.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get all the coyotes. They're out there. They eat little dogs. They'll eat whatever. They all get together. They get in heat. They try to draw the dogs out. Like it's weird that we have. It's weird that we have dogs, and then we have wolves, and we have coyotes, and we have wild dogs. We have domesticated. Like somebody figured out. Like dogs just figured out. Look, show up, make friends, be nice. You'll get fed. Like do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where they come from.
I had to drop. We have 2 Cavapoos, Pickles and Bagel. Right. Pickles is 5, Bagel's 1. And
wait, what's a Cavapoo?
Cavapoo is King Charles Spaniel and Poodle mix.
That's
you expect people to know that?
Yeah, what the hell are you talking about?
I didn't know that. That's
subscribe to Dog Fancy.
Yeah.
I figured this one out.
Yeah. And I had to drop Pickles off. We were trying out somebody to like watch them when we went out of town, and people sometimes disclose. Everyone, the same way you were talking about, like with Ja Rule, like. What you think a 1 or a 9 is we all have our own set of goggles, and the gal goes, "Yeah, our dog. We have another small dog, so they'll all get along." Small dog. This was the size of the small dog, and it was like a wolf, and it had those beady eyes, and it was a male, and both our dogs are gals, and they've been fixed, but still, that doesn't mean they can't get butt fucked. So this dog is chasing Pickles around, who's 5.
You sound like my grandfather.
Look, you can get fixed. Doesn't mean you can't take a good ass, Raymond, on Shabbat. So this dog's chasing Pickles around and mounting her, and I go, And I'm like asking her questions, and I'm like, and she just goes, oh, well, keep an eye on that. I'll keep an eye on that. Is you're like calming me down. I'm like, oh, is that going to be? And there wasn't a lot of room to roam. So I eventually ended up picking them up and being like, oh, you know what? I actually forgot. I got to take them home and pick up. And I got out of there. But
I thought you were going to say you fed them to a coyote.
I did. That was yeah. Well, if the story really had a strong end, but the size difference of certain dogs, like it felt like a mini coyote.
Yeah.
Once they get about this big, and the dogs have beady eyes, I don't know. Yeah.
Black eyes like a doll's eyes.
All right.
Tom Selleck?
No, that's from Jaws.
Trump wants a major investigation into Beyonce, Oprah, and other endorsements of Harris. Yeah. Donald Trump plans to call a major investigation into celebrity endorsements that Kamala Harris received during the 2024 campaign, alleging without evidence that Bruce Springsteen, Oprah Winfrey, U2's Mono, and Beyonce were paid to publicly support the Democratic nominee.
You know, there should be a reverse endorsement, which is, okay, dig this, Adam Ray. Nobody gives a shit about the celebrity endorsements anymore. They don't work. You know what I mean? Like George Clooney thinks no one gives a fuck. Oprah, whatever.
There was a time.
There was a time.
Yeah.
But the ship has sailed.
Yeah, I think so.
Like the Mexican Navy. And we've moved on. We've turned the page. Thank you. Now, here's what you would do. I would say, like if I was running Kamala's campaign, I wouldn't go, look, they'll go, we could give $5 million to Beyonce and she would endorse you. I'd go, listen, the people who like Beyonce are already voting for you, and the ones who don't like Beyonce are not going to vote for you just because Beyonce. You're not going to win. You're not going to win over one person.
It's a wasted Instagram
But I'll
post.
tell you what we could do. Instead of $5 million to Beyonce, we give $10,000 to Jared Fogle to endorse Trump.
Yes.
We get anti-endorsements. You know what I mean?
Anti-endorsement.
We get the
That's
head of the
brilliant.
KKK. We get pedophiles. We get
my
Harvey
God.
Weinstein. We get all the dregs of
we
society.
get Brian Laundrie's parents.
That's right. We get all. The guy.
The people that are covering up murders.
Right. We get the most despicable people on the planet. We give them $8,000 and they will gladly endorse Trump.
Bro, that's so funny.
And that's how we do it, because we're going to reverse engineer the endorsement.
Dude, that's brilliant.
Because look, okay, it would be great. It would be great if Winston Churchill endorsed you, but if Adolf Hitler endorsed you, it'd be much worse. Like
the damage is greater.
Right,
with the
right.
person
So
you didn't
let's
expect.
think anti-endorsement, and let's see if we can. Joey Buttafuoco.
Wow.
$4,000. Yeah. We can get him.
If that.
Yeah, if that. I'm rounding up.
Maybe just some duct tape.
Whatever's in the ashtray of your Toyota, we'll go with Joe. We'll take P. Diddy will endorse. I got a whole list of people. Michael Avenatti will endorse.
Wow.
I got a list of endorsements.
Wow, yeah.
Honey Boo Boo's mom will do an endorsement. She's
Mrs.
$4,000.
Boo Boo.
Mrs. Boo Boo. Like, what could a murderer's row of horrible
Start
endorsements?
getting some cartoon characters in there.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the way to go.
I think so.
Because we're now at a point where you can't add votes, but you can take them away.
Yeah.
And a good bad endorsement will work.
Also, like the celeb, just the power and influence. It still shows itself in pockets, but like
I can get all of Nickelback for $30,000 to do the anti-endorsement.
Don't joke about that, by the way.
I know. Yeah, I don't want to jinx it.
Okay.
I don't want to jinx it, but I'm saying I'm going for anti-endorsement.
Wow, dude.
Listen, throw my name in the ring.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'd
sure.
probably make some cash doing an endorsement, an anti-endorsement.
Yeah, I'd love to skip Sacramento.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, he's suing them because they got paid. What did she go through like $2 billion worth of campaign?
Yeah.
Whatever. It's the weirdest. We're living in a world where LA or California can spend $24 billion on homelessness and we can have more homeless. And you can spend $2 billion on a campaign and lose, and we can spend $80 billion on a train that doesn't go anywhere and doesn't work. Like, it's a lot of money flying around for not a lot of results, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There is nothing coming out the other end.
I was about to try to say something profound, but this
Everybody had some jobs.
this Amber and Opal was hitting
Yeah.
me
I
hard.
think that's getting you.
But it is, man. There's just a lot of different ways to spend the money, and I think I mean, you didn't have to pay probably them. Like I think you were saying, they were going to vote for them anyway or support. I don't know who came up with that idea. Maybe it was Beyonce's people that were like, yo, like you should let them know that like you're down for a pay to play or a yeah, I don't know how that happens.
I don't know how they do like this kind of thing. Is it just out in the open, or does your manager talk in code, or it's like, hey, it would be really great if Beyonce would.
It also might not even be true. The amount of fucking thing, like honestly, can we also like recognize like how many things are flying out every day? And headline clickbait, and we're going, fucking dude, well, it's printed. It's probably true. This might also be total fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm just playing both sides.
Yeah, 1.5 billion in 15 weeks, which is $100 million a week.
Because they also have so much fucking money that I'm almost like, really? Oprah needed cash to, you know what I'm saying? Like, for what?
Well, Trump said that it was $11 million to Beyonce, but it's unclear where he got that number. He said it's from a news report.
Yeah, bro. Let's also,
But here's the thing. Here's the thing with everything. No matter how rich you are, the idea of making $5 million in an afternoon, and also they always tell you don't have to do what you're known for. You know what I mean? Like, Adam, I got a whole bunch of money, corporate gig, $5 million, no jokes. No jokes. You just walk out there, say hi, and leave, and no singing.
Sure.
No, whatever it is you do, you don't have to do any of that.
Just
no,
be you.
No cage fights, no nothing.
So
just show up, say hi, and leave.
You would have went to the Fire Festival.
I'm saying the reason people go, why does this guy do this thing for this amount of money when he's already got so much money?
You're addicted to making it if you have that much.
Well, you already done a thing where it's like you're this many years old and you have $700 million. You cannot spend it in your lifetime. We're already there. Mathematically, there's no reason to get out of bed
That's why I'm like,
ever again.
Yeah, what are you doing it
right.
for?
Because it's the notion of getting $3 million for an afternoon's work.
It's a mood
can't
boost.
say no to.
It's the same way that like some of these athletes, I guess, ask for a ridiculous amount of money, but it's like, when a certain wide receiver or quarterback or baseball player makes a certain amount, another one will ask for this amount, but it's because it's like, well, I want to. Yeah. There's a little confidence boost.
Contest.
Yeah, measuring. Yeah,
it's
right.
also the difference. Like a new Lexus is $59,000, but they will get someone to do something and go, we'll give you a car. Lexus is going to just give you a car. Because if they say to the guy, we'll give you $59,000, the guy will go, but I could do that at play a theater, do a club, do an arena or whatever. I could make more than that. But if they go, you get a new car for doing half a day's work, most guys will just do it because it's a weird thing. Like I remember once,
I'll get you into a Lincoln for $49,000.
Oh, Matthew, you will.
The seats are heated.
Wild turkey.
I got gushers. There's a gusher container. You can open. I've never seen somebody so excited for a gusher container.
I had a guy who was like a regular dude, poor guy kind of guy, work for me, and Mike's Hard Lemonade gave me and Jimmy a chopper for doing some sort of spot for them a million years ago. And it was like a $19,000, $18,000 chopper. This guy could wrap his mind around me getting paid $50,000 an episode to do a TV show and do this and do that and do everything else. But the chopper I got for free, he never got his mind around because he was a dude. It's like, they gave you that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, for an afternoon. For one day. Yeah, one day. One day's work, you get a chopper. It's like, yeah, normally you get $40,000, you buy 2 choppers for one day's work. But it's the symbolism of the chopper that it was there that he couldn't get his mind.
It's beautiful in a way.
It couldn't it's innocent, it's earnest, it's old school, it's a little retarded, but it's very earnest. Like he just couldn't get around that. The dollars he could figure out, or he didn't impress him, and that was kind of. It's like you'll know when you have kids, you go out and you do a bunch of shows and you get tens of thousands of dollars. You come home and you come back and you get. I made $50,000 last weekend. Your kids will go like, yeah, all right, so what? You come home with like $800 cash and just throw it down on the bed and they look at it. They go, oh,
lose their minds.
Well, yeah, they lose their minds, right? Because it's that. It's tactile.
Yeah.
All right, one more. You got one more?
Yeah, I got one more. Actually, 1 in 4 sunscreens on store shelves are safe and effective.
So 75% don't work.
Yeah, a fourth of sunscreens on Ford store shelves in the United States deliver safe and effective protection against the harmful rays of the sun.
There is going to be two syndromes that physicians in the future are going to have to look out for. It's something called white lung. That's too many moms spraying sunscreen all over the face of their 9-year-olds and just inhaling all this fucking SP50. You know, they're going to have a white lung syndrome. They're sucking it all up, all in the face. And there's going to be another syndrome called floating liver syndrome, waiting in line at TSA when they want your bottle that costs $7 of water. And you're like, fuck that. You're just chugging 2 liters of water in the next 4 feet. This all go to my head because I spent $7 for this water and not fucking chucking it. I've chugged.
You can't.
So you can't throw it away, right?
Floating liver syndrome, great band name.
Floating liver
probably opening for Ja
syndrome
Rule
and
on the
white lung.
Where's the party at?
There's going to be a lot of frequent flyer kids that have both. Like they're going to Hawaii getting white lung because they're getting the sunscreen sprayed all over them, chugging water at the airport.
When I was playing a New York cop at Universal Studios, this is the last job I did before I got fired, and there were these teen tours.
Oh, this wasn't Wolverine?
No, Wolverine. Well, actually, yeah, I did hand in my claws. I was doing it simultaneously. I was hosting the Fear Factor live show, playing Wolverine and playing a 1940s New York cop.
And hosting
the Fear Factor live. And and you know, when I was the New York cop, it was like I wasn't from anything. There was a little chunk of the park that was like New York Street, and my boss would always give me a hard time because like at one point there was a multicolored squirt gun that I pulled up and was shooting Asian tourists with, and she was like, "This isn't from 1940s New York." I go, "Jenna, with all due respect, a train just drove by with SpongeBob, Curious George, and Dora the Explorer, and blasting the song "Ooh-ee, ooh-ah, ching chang, walla walla, bing bang." I'm not a history buff, but I'm pretty sure that was being played during fucking World War II. And so at one point, these teen tour groups would come through. Teen tours is a thing where, you know, rich parents pay about, I think, $40,000 to have their kids for 3 weeks go Vegas, San Francisco, LA, San Diego, and they go on buses and they go to Universal, they go to Disneyland, they go to Vegas, and there'd be shows at the Hollywood Improv that we've done for these 14, 15-year-olds. And usually it'd be all these young kids, and you'd find the youngest kid, and you'd be like, "You probably got the biggest dick," and it's all crowd work because they can't relate to anything you're talking about. I brought this kid up one time. He rapped in front of all the things. I was like, "You're probably gonna fuck one of the counselors." They all went nuts. So at Universal Studios, I'm this New York cop, and the teen tour group comes through, and I was like, "Oh, what are you guys doing? You got the teen tour? You guys young kids? You having a good time?" And one of the girls is covered in sunscreen. And I'm this New York cop, and I go, "Oh, you got a little, you missed this spot. You're covered in sunscreen." And she goes, "It's not sunscreen." I go, "Oh, what is it?" I'm like trying to do a bit with like these 15 kids, and she goes, "It's cum."
What?
And I go, "Okay, that's my cue. I'm gonna go talk to Captain America." Fucking what, dude? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. So anyway, you said sunscreen. I thought of that story, but it just, I mean, dude, hug your kids and try your best because you're no kid is gonna be immune from a sunscreen cum joke. I mean, the fact also that like they were that age, and I was like, that's where your brain's going right now. But
she's
also
gone full bukkake at 15.
Full bukkake at 15, yeah.
Wow.
But also, you know, they're on this. It's summer camp on a bus, and you're going Vegas, San Diego, San Fran, LA. I mean, it's almost too much. And the counselors were like all doing their own thing. They were getting fucked up. Anyway, teentour.com for tickets.
I like the word bukkake because it sounds like what it is.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain words that don't sound like there's certain words.
Would you
like
rather eat
casualty of war doesn't sound like you died.
No.
It sounds like something casual or whatever.
Am I
Garnish your wages. But bukkake for a made up word.
It's almost
sort of sounds
onomatopoeia.
like what it is.
If you didn't know what a bukkake was, and I pronounce it bukkake because I'm old school. If and you had the chance and somebody said, "Hey, do you want to go to a bukkake tonight?" and you didn't know what it was, would you think it was a gangbang where someone's getting fucking cookied on? I don't think that's a real term. I just made that up. This is good liquor.
Yeah.
Or do you think it's a Benihana type establishment?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Or do you think it's a band you're going to see?
I would roll the dice. I would say sign me up.
You're a fun
for
guy.
The bukkake.
And would you be bummed if you came and you sat down and there was, let's say even it was a gangbang, but they had the Benihana type place settings. So you sat down, they have a chef, but that's a decoy.
Yeah.
Or maybe the chef is how the party gets started.
Wait, we all jizz on the stove? I don't get it.
Dude, stay with us, dude.
Sorry, guys.
You know, sometimes you think of sentences that may have never been uttered in human history. We all jizz on the stove may have never been strung
Said
together
by
because
Brand new sentence.
well, stoves have only been around for 500 years, and then the vernacular jizz
Yeah,
has
at
only
least
been around
15,
for
20.
20 years. So combining the jizz and we all,
Yeah, it doesn't add up.
yeah, it's not like ye old gents who all jizzed on a stove. It's not old. It's not old time talk. It's new. That's modern. That may be yours.
That's yours.
We'll have to check the Urban
Someone's got a new
Dictionary after the show. All right, let me give plugs to Adam Ray. You go to AdamRayComedy.com. Always funny. The Dr. Phil stuff, just a joy.
8 more shows left.
Oh,
8 more.
That's it.
Yeah,
8
that's it.
more. And then the new characters coming out.
Yeah, who knows, man?
Also, Ja Rule, Where's the Party At? That's that tour is going to start July 23rd. And then, of course, Amber and Opal Spirits as well. I recommend it highly. I'll be in Bellflower doing stand-up this Saturday, 2 shows. First show sold out, but the second show's got some tickets left at the Stand-Up Comedy Club. And then Tacoma and Spokane, all over the place. Go to AdamCarolla.com for all the live shows. Until next time, Adam Carolla, Adam Ray, and Ja Rule, and Mayhem saying, Mahala.